From Cassie Strickland, I have enjoyed this experience and learning new skills that can benefit myself later on, and of course, confirming to myself that besides art, I want to continue learning. You are going to see how dynamic, fun, and playful she uses her art skills to communicate messages about animals and to communicate messages about what she thinks and feels about the world, or what she hopes for it.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Cassie for short, but my real name is Cassandra Strickland. So far I've been at SLCC, well, I first started off a couple years ago, just took one class when I was not working. I was sick a lot. I was able to get family to help me pay for at least one class, and I went back and took one of my math classes, and then after that things just kind of went downhill again for me. But I came back last semester and started in spring, and then I took summer semester. And then after an unfortunate circumstance at work and injuring my back, as a CNA, I had to leave that position, and because of that, with me in work, I had to unfortunately drop all my classes last semester, which I was not very happy about that. But I am back. I am really excited to be back now. As you can see, this is my welcome page, just basically telling you about myself. I absolutely love art. It talks about my family being my inspiration, and just everything I love, my education, based on my different interests. I wasn't quite sure what I really wanted to go into. I knew I loved art, and I wanted to do something with that. My last year when I was in high school, I got into 3D animation. I really enjoyed that. But I still wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. When I go later on into one of my two of my classes for English and also for my criminal justice class, I was inspired to be a criminal justice or go into forensics myself as well, because of an experience that happened to it affected me, but didn't really necessarily had to do anything with me. On both of them, I wrote a paper which mentions my best friend who was killed when I was in 5th grade. She was actually murdered on her front porch, and they finally, back in 2011, just barely after 13 years of her case being cold, they finally caught the guy. So I was inspired to go into forensics. I was looking at maybe doing that, which is why I took the criminal justice class. But I knew for myself that I absolutely love art. I want to do something with art, which most of the people I've helped, they all tell me I should be in film, go into animation, be a children's book illustrator, just do something with art, because everybody thinks I'm pretty good. But of course, with my classes I've been in, like you're seeing here, which is my art class that I just took back in summer semester. I had to choose an artist, which my teacher had to choose the person, or kind of give me an idea of who he would rather us choose, and I decided to choose Michelangelo. Mainly I chose his story based because of his life and how tragic and how horrible his life should have been, but he didn't let that affect him at all. And I just kind of look at him, I'm like, my experiences are not as bad as his, but I can't help but think he's an amazing person to accomplish as much as he did. And with me, I'm like, I'm taking small steps myself. I'm kind of coming back. But it's just amazing. I absolutely loved his work. He inspires just like anybody else. I see any other artists, I am inspired by their work. Of course, more of my outside of my classroom work, I should say here. My film class also helped inspire me with my choices of becoming an animator. Just learning that movies are far more than what they actually appear. And there's a lot more work that you have to do. Just when it comes to lighting, sound, there's so much work you have to put into it. And I absolutely enjoyed my entire time there. I have a better and more abstract feeling about how movies go, and I take more into it when I look at them. Of course, one of my favorite quotes is actually from Walt Disney myself, which is where I inspire to be, is an animator, just saying that if you can dream it, you can do it. And I absolutely love it. It totally speaks to me. It's like everybody has dreams. As long as you're dreaming, you can reach there. It just takes work. Again, another one of my classes that has inspired me, and with my ePortfolio, has been my lifetime and fitness class that I had. My health, unfortunately, has not been the greatest, but when I took the class, just little things I learned, just by changing your diet, just even going out walking makes a big difference. I've inspired my family as well. My family, between my mother, my sisters, and my grandmother, between all of them, I get them to get up, we go out, we'll go hiking. There's been multiple locations we've gone to, like Angel's Landing, the Wave down south, of course, Timpanogos Cave. But that alone is kind of helped with my health as well. Unfortunately, I did find out a couple years ago, after being sick for so long, since I was in 7th grade, that I do have a form of cancer. And so I'm living with that every day. But just the little changes and things I've learned just from coming back to school and just being more active has helped that. Let's see, and of course, there's certain things when you're here at school that help you to become a better person and a better student. Of course, just for me, I'm very critical when it comes to my work, but I'm also really creative, as you can obviously tell. But that, I feel, is a very key goal in becoming successful. If you're not critical about your work, then you're not going to push yourself to get it better, and then push yourself to seek out help that you need. And then when you're creative, of course, that stands out even more. And of course, it's also very good to be civically engaged when you're in school. One of my motivations that I used when speaking with this is my family. They have always been really, really big animal lovers, and so I was brought up into that. And myself, I see animals, and of course, I want to help every single one of them. And so my family, whenever we would find any animal that was injured, hurt, or had been mistreated in any way, we would take them in ourselves, we would help nurse them, and we would then get them healthy again and get them to a better home and find them a more loving home. A little further down, it does show a couple of pictures of some of the animals that we do help, or that we have helped. One of them, which is one of the next ones, is actually a kitten we found, or I should say I found in the alleyway behind our house. And her mother was hit by a car, and she was just laying there. And I absolutely fell in love with her, took her in, and I still have her to this day. But of course, as it says, I am also still certified as a CNA. I can't do as much with it because of my injuries, but I still go volunteer, go in, read to the elderly. I bring in my animals and spend some time with them, and I also share my artwork with them. And it's just been a really rewarding career, and also a rewarding experience for me. And coming back to school, I absolutely am very excited to be back, and I'm looking forward to exceeding and going a lot further than what I have. And hopefully here, as long as everything goes well, I will be done here, and I'll be able to move on to the Art Institute as of next year, and I'll be able to further my experience. And hopefully share more with those who are willing to listen. All right, thank you so much.